I suppose it's probably a good time to point out, like I've mentioned, that this came from this was made by the same employee that provided these. This stack of cool stuff, pre-production items, also came from the same employee. This super glossy card right here also came from the same employee. This person has been providing cool things to the community for a long time, and we've never had any problems with them being fake. Except for maybe the exception of this item. Sorry, not on camera there. This item, this mini card here, that's not an official item, even if it's made with some official software. But everything else provided by that person has been legit, made with permission of the company, by the company, for the company. Let's see, now what was I looking for here? Oh yeah. Let's get some other things out. Let's get out... Okay, this one. So this is a card that was printed inside the Wizards of the Coast offices. So I can show you the print quality on that. It's going to be similar to the print quality on those regular papers over there. This is signed by Bill Rose. You can look up his name on Google. He's a kind of a big shot there at Wizards of the Coast. So pretty awesome to have his signature on this card. He was the set designer for Portal, which is the Magic set this card is from. This is a pretty awesome card. There's 2 cards from this set like this known to exist, both signed by Bill. And there is another card from a different set, not signed by Bill, but it's essentially the same type of card made inside the Wizards of the Coast facility. So only 3 of those are known to exist. They're not all the same card. Awesome stuff. Let's see. These are some more test prints. At the moment, I don't think I would need to compare to any of those, but I certainly have them here if we need to. I've compared to test prints before with that Blastoise. Oh yeah, the other thing I'm looking for. So let's go back, way back in the back. Okay, there's the original business plan for Magic the Gathering. First rules of the game before they had a rule book. The Duelist number 0. The first Wizards of the Coast catalog that had Magic the Gathering in it, summer 1993. Here we go. Test Godbook. So, if you don't know what a Godbook is, let me explain real quick while I'm getting this out of here. A Godbook is basically a printout of every card in the set that's used for internal reference within the company. Every set that comes out has a Godbook, and originally, way back in the beginning, when Magic was new, this concept was like a binder of cards. But the problem with that is over time, the cards disappear. People play games, things like that. So having actual cards didn't really work well, and they're kind of heavy. So instead, they figured out a way to print the cards on paper for reference, and that worked a lot better for them. It's also been used for set review to the public back in the magazine days. All right. So normally a Godbook would have the name of the set and say God book. These are printed inside Wizards of the Coast, basically the same way that these are printed. And so this one says Test God book because it is a God book for a set of test prints. So these test prints were for an alternate version of the card frame. They redesigned the card frame for 8th edition, and these actually say they have the 8th edition expansion symbol on them. It's probably going to be difficult for you to see there. So that's an 8. All right, so this is all of the test prints that were in this set of test prints. So every different card that was in the set, which is pretty cool because test prints are hard to find, and now we know what exists in that set. Probably don't need to go way into detail on that because that would just be getting off on a tangent. But we can check and see what an internally printed card would look like. There's a variety of different things here that I have to compare with. This item also came from the same employee. Other items that have came from that employee. Let's see. If you're in the Magic community, particularly in the oddities kind of stuff, you've probably heard of the Exodus foil test prints. So a chunk of those came from this same person way back when they first were revealed to the public. That's something that's been going around for a long time and is pretty well known. I do have some Exodus foil test prints, but the ones I have aren't from that person. They're a different sheet from elsewhere. So showing you mine isn't exactly relevant, but they are from a very similar time frame to these Blastoise cards. Let's pop up some pictures of some other things that have come from the same place, just to give you an idea of, I guess you could say it's establishing some kind of credibility that all of these items exist, that they've been checked out by a variety of people over the years, and it's been a lot of years, and everything checks out. Yeah, just kind of establishing some credibility and some history, like a track record. This isn't just a random person out of the blue showing up with something we've never seen. This is someone who has been doing this for years and is connected to the company. All right, so let's see if I can find a few more pictures of other things from this person. Here's one of the Exodus foil test prints. These were made just before the Blastoise cards. This particular one isn't one that's actually from this particular employee and James, but the ones that they had looked a lot like this. So this is just a representative picture of the kind that he had. Next we have an 8th edition test print. This is a test for the new card frame. Then we have a couple of God books here. It's one for Invasion and one for 8th edition, English. Then we have a whole bunch more God books. This would be all or most of the sets that this particular employee worked on. As you can see, they're all from a similar time frame, and you're going to find that with all of the items that are from this particular employee. They're going to be, from the time frame when that person worked there. Here's some more items. These are kind of similar to what you just saw me open in the mail a minute ago. Here's another one up close. This is for Dark Steel. This is a cool one, Silver Globe thing. So they don't always have, finalized names during the process of when they're creating stuff. So I enjoy this one. It says on the right, it says Art ID. So that would be the name of what in the old days would be a TIFF file. It might still be a TIFF file when this was being made. I'm not exactly clear on that. But it would be the art and the card frame combined. And then down at the bottom, it says EPS name. That's encapsulated postscript. That's going to be all of the text and the casting cost and, the words that get laid down over the artwork. It just has to do with the way that they make cards. Here's another neat one. These are some color tests Wizards of the Coast had these printed locally, not internal to the company, but also not at the regular print facility. And they have a foil and a non-foil there, which is pretty cool to see both side by side. These are from Judgment, which is a Magic set. And one of the cooler things on these is that you can see up at the top the white bar is labeled text white. And that has to do with the white lettering for the card name and the type. Normally, it's pretty unusual to see white text in an offset printing, so. Here's another cool one. You might not recognize what this is right away, but the black stuff that you see here, what that is where the opaque white underprinting goes to block out the areas of a foil card that you don't want to be foil. So that would be the art box and the rules text box and the casting cost. And there's one for the card border, not the frame, but the black border around it. And you can see there's a cutout for the shooting star. This is an interesting item. It looks a lot like an uncut sheet, but it's not. I had to verify this one with someone that works at the printing facility just to figure out what it was even. It's a pretty unusual item. They don't make these for every set. They have something else that they use. So this is a pre-press proof. I won't get into all the details right now, but this is on a really thin paper, not like regular sheet cardstock. And the image isn't the same as what's used to actually print the cards. It's not the same file. On this one, the Pillared Tombs of Aku is just here for comparison, for size comparison. The Commander Greven Ilvek is the special item in this photo. These items, the Pillared Tombs of Aku, and there were some other cards, that came out in 97. I think there was some in 96 also. There's probably some in 98. Right around that time frame, these oversized cards were being produced. And they were kind of like small movie posters or something. You know, you'd hang them on your wall. They were pretty thick cardstock, but nothing's printed on the backside. I think they're square-cornered. I won several items like this playing tournaments back then. I enjoyed them. They were cool to hang on your wall. But this Commander Greven Ilvek one is bigger than all the other ones. And as you can see from the white border around it, it's something to do with the production of these. This is apparently what they were like during the process of making them before they decided to shrink them down to the actual size we ended up with. Here is a prototype booster box. This is made out of a sheet of Magic cardstock. The back side is printed, but the front side is not printed. And this is for Champions of Kamigawa. Okay, here's a few Magic poker decks. So these, I mean, you can't see the Magic side in this photo, but the back of the cards is appears to be a regular Magic card back. You can see the Wizards logo down at the bottom there on these sealed decks. These are kind of rare. They're not super rare, but they're fun. I do have one of these. They were sent to Legends members of the DCI. If you paid for your DCI membership, you got a subscription to the Duelist and one of these decks. And I think you got a booster pack of Italian Legends. Some bonus things if you paid some money when you joined. And this one is a poker deck from some kind of promotional material for the Wizards of the Coast Game Center, which was back when Wizards of the Coast owned their own chain of retail stores. Again, this isn't a pre-production item or anything. It's just kind of a rare thing. He didn't always have only super rare pre-production stuff. He also had a lot of just regular things. Foil cards and promos and things that you wouldn't even think anything about really, other than that there's so many of them in one place. This is a pretty rare keychain that was a prize for something. Keychains aren't really my thing, but apparently this is an unusual thing to find, and it's sitting on a god book there. Okay, these are some more of the mini Magic cards. Now, like I said, these aren't really an official item. These were made by an employee for fun. I don't think the one that I have is there in that photo. Maybe it is, just left of center. Not sure there. But they made two pre-constructed decks, and there was a few sheets made, 2 decks per sheet, and they just, cut them out and played with them. Here is a test print booster pack. You can see the image is sort of reversed there, a mirror image. And here are some more test print booster packs. And this one's in a blank white box. Now these particular booster packs, well, just a second here, let me show you. Okay, I happen to have some of these. So these particular booster packs they look like, let's see, it's these. They look like Chinese 4th edition Magic the Gathering booster packs. Strong resemblance there. But the crimp up here in the top right corner has this weird shape, which is not like these. So hopefully you can see that there. So these two right here are just regular ones of the same booster artwork. And these two are test prints from that box. So only 36 packs of those were ever made. That box was it. And I think a few of them had already been opened before the employee even acquired the box. And inside of these packs is not Magic cards at all. It's actually test print Netrunner cards, which is another Wizards of the Coast card game. I verified this information with the Netrunner art director. Pretty cool stuff. I picked these up. I thought it would be fun to open one on camera here on the channel. I might even get open boosters involved. So if you think that would be fun to have open boosters, open a test print booster pack with me, I guess let me know. See if that sounds like an alright thing. It's something coming up at some point. One more thing about those mini cards here. Even though they were just a fun thing created by employees, back in the day, not really an official thing that was asked for by the company, it did eventually turn into a real product. So, many, many years after this happened, someone at Wizards of the Coast decided that it would be a fun April Fool's Day joke. And so they made this advertisement with Think Geek, I think it was, for travel-sized Magic cards. And apparently people thought it was amusing. And eventually, another year or two went by, and they decided to actually release the world's smallest Magic cards. So this is an official product, and this, in a way, kind of started it unofficially. So, interesting little bit of history there. So now you know a little bit about where the cards came from, or at least who they came from. So what happens next in the story?